What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers finally ended the streak against the Los Angeles Clippers and got a huge win, jumping to over 500. And we didn't have to wait till the middle of the year, right? It's a great thing. So Lakers are currently sitting at 3-2 and are ready to take on the Orlando Magic coming up next. Now the Lakers do have several players missing. Gabe Vincent is out with injury, and he is not expected to be reevaluated for at least 2 weeks. So we're at least 2 weeks away from the minimum of a Gabe Vincent return. On top of that, Jared Vanderbilt's probably about another week away, minimum. They said about a week ago that he'd be reevaluated in 2 weeks again as well. Taurean Prince, we'll see what happens with him because Taurean Prince, he was a late scratch, like literally game time decision scratch when he was dealing with some injury or just dealing with some soreness during warm-ups and shoot-around before the Clipper game. So he's out. And then, of course, Rui Hachimura, he's out as well. So talking 4 of your top 8, 9 rotation guys, anytime that happens, it's rough. But luckily, in the Clipper game, we saw guys step up. We saw Austin Reeves kind of looking like a guy that's starting to come into his own after that Norman Powell ankle breaker. It was great to see him kind of just get back into his stride. I need to see that over the course of a game. D'Angelo Russell has been fantastic. And anytime you're missing 4 key guys, that hurts, right? Especially when 3 of those 4 guys are arguably, your top 3, 3 of 5 defensive players, right? I mean, Cam Reddish has been elite. He's been fantastic defensively, but Jared Vanderbilt is arguably the best on-ball defender in the entire league, best perimeter defender in the entire league. If not, he is. And then Gabe Vincent is your best point of attack guard, which now we don't have that. Taurean Prince has been great and has really been big for the Lakers since we've picked him up, right? And then, you're kind of relying heavily now on a Max Christie, who he struggled to shoot the basketball last game, but defensively he looked good. Hopefully the Lakers can kind of right the ship and get this win against Orlando and kind of start riding a streak here. That would be really nice. So if you look at the Lakers' schedule, right, our next 12 games, which here's the first 6 coming up, you got the Magic, Heat, Rockets, Suns, Blazers, and Grizzlies. Outside of the Suns, that's 5 extremely winnable games. I still believe the Lakers can beat the Suns. Lakers already beat the Suns, though, and they're in Phoenix. Devin Booker's back. I know Phoenix just lost to San Antonio for the second time, but you got to imagine that by the time we play the Suns, Bradley Beal's probably going to be back because they're going to be playing the Lakers, and that's just how it works with injury, right? Every time a guy's injured and he's missed, the entirety of the season, the guy has both his legs fell off, and magically they just regrew right in time to play the Lakers. So don't be shocked if Bradley Beal, if that's the game, he ends up coming back. But regardless, they're going to have Kevin Durant. They're going to have Devin Booker in Phoenix. So that's going to be a tough game. I'd love to get that win. That would be fantastic. And then by that time, hopefully we have at least Jared Vanderbilt, Rui, and Taurean Prince back. But outside of that, again, Orlando, they're going to want to get a win. They're 3-2. They're a team that, again, they're going to be trying to make the playoffs this year. They're trying to turn the corner a little bit here. And so it's going to be tough. You got that Florida road trip, so to speak. And, we got 4 straight road games. Lakers are 3-2, but they have yet to win a road game. All 3 of those games, including the Clipper game, they were the home team. I know Lakers are technically always the home team playing the Clippers, but they were the home team in that game. So the 2 losses have been on the road. Got to win on the road. You have to. Same thing with the playoffs. You got to win on the road in the playoffs. So you got the Magic, the Heat, the Rockets, and the Suns. That's 4 teams that you're playing on the road. I need these next 3, right? Got to beat the Magic, right? After you beat the Magic, the Rockets, that should be a win, right? That's a team that, yes, they have some vets. They got some nice mix of youth and veteran. You got to beat the Rockets. I mean, they're one of the worst teams in the league. Got to get that done. Same thing with Miami. Miami's really struggled. Miami is the worst team right now in the league, in the Eastern Conference. And they're tied for like the third worst or second worst. They're the second worst team in the league total right now at 1-4. They're on a 4-game losing streak. I'd like for Miami to win a game or two before they play the Lakers, so there's not as much urgency. But Miami's going to end up showing up. That they're going to want to win on their home court. But Miami, to me, is a very winnable game. Very winnable game. Again, Rockets, same thing. Then you got the Portland Trailblazers, another very winnable game. And the Memphis Grizzlies, who are literally the worst team in the league, which I called it. And it's funny, I've seen some people, clown me when I said that the Grizzlies were going to be pretty bad this year and that I wouldn't be shocked if they missed the playoffs. And, of course, so far, one of us is looking right. But regardless, the Grizzlies, you're not going to have Ja Morant. You got to get that win. You got to beat the Grizzlies. So right there, that is 5 out of the next 6 games that I think the Lakers should win. And if that's the case, then you're talking the Lakers would be, 8-3? That'd be pretty good, right? Especially if the Lakers are going to win 50 to 55 games like I believe that they will. And then you look at the next stretch, right? So you got the Sacramento Kings, and this time you are at home. I think that that's kind of the revenge game. I think that's the game we bounce back on. I think that's the game that we get the win against Sacramento. Got the Blazers again, got the Rockets again. Again, 2 very winnable games. Utah seems to give us trouble for whatever reason. But again, very winnable game. The Dallas Mavericks, right? Especially Houston, Jazz, and Mavericks. That's 3 home games that I believe you have to win. And 4 of those first 5 or 4 of these 6 are at home. Got to win your home games, right? So you win those 4 home games. Cavs will be pretty tough on the road. Although LeBron, he likes to play in Cleveland, so maybe he goes and gets you the win. But let's say you take the L to Cleveland, right? So that means I think it's realistic that the Lakers win or can win 10 out of the next 12 games before their schedule starts really picking up again. Got to remember, the Lakers have one of the toughest schedules in the league. They have the second toughest in the West behind the Phoenix Suns. And so if you're the Lakers, you got to get these wins. You got to. Because if you can go 10-2 in this stretch, all of a sudden you're 13-4, and that narrative of, the Lakers aren't this, that, and the other completely changes, right? Like, you probably have one of the best records in the league. And you're showing that you are that legit title contender. Now, to win 10 out of 12 is tough for any team, right? So let's say they drop a game or two, right, out of these 12 games. I need us at least 8-4, 9-3 in these next 12. I'd love a 9-3, but at least an 8-4. Because that would put us at 11-6, which would be great. That would put us in a great spot. And I firmly believe that the Lakers are good enough to do that. Right? I know we're missing 4 key guys, but these are the games that you should be able to weather without those guys. And some of these games, we got to start establishing these early leads. We got to stop playing from behind. Got to get LeBron James some rest. There's no reason LeBron James should be playing 42 minutes for you guys just to squeeze out, a win. Look, I wanted to beat the Clippers badly, right? Just change the narrative, change the conversation. You're seeing that. And I also wanted that as like a confidence booster, like, this year is different type thing. And so I love that we beat the Clippers by any means necessary. And LeBron was a man on a mission. Like, you could tell he was like, all right, I'm tired of losing to these guys. But we need guys to pick it up, right? Austin Reeves, he's got to put it together for a full game. And this upcoming stretch is a great stretch for him to do that. Because he's not playing a bunch of these elite teams that are going to be trying to lock him down and throwing, a Drew Holiday on him or something like that, right? Like, you're going to have teams that are some of the worst defensive teams in the league that really struggle to just stop guards. And Austin Reeves is going to be able to kind of get in his rhythm, get into his flow, and then hopefully that carries over into like a Suns game, a Kings game, some of these tougher games, maybe a Cavs game, right? Ideally, in a perfect world, we win all 12 games. But I think, an 8-4 out of our next 12, or like I said, 9-3 would be ideal. 7-5, I think, would be good, but still not great, because that would put us at 10-7, which would put us 3 games over 500, and then you start getting back into just like a tough schedule again. And I want us to have that cushion. I want us to start creating that space, creating that gap to where it's like, okay, now we're really starting to pull ahead. Because, like, for example, going into like that Cavs game, you got the Cavs, the Sixers, the Pistons, but then you got the Thunder. So like 3 out of your next 4 against teams that are very good, very talented, and are very likely going to win quite a bit of games, right? So I really need to see the Lakers kind of use this lesser stretch to kind of build some momentum, build a little bit of a cushion, and let's go ride this out, right? So anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think this is a great opportunity? Let's go. Let's get this. This is the moment to like really start pushing and rattle off some wins and start getting pretty heavily over 500. Do you think like they're gonna have some struggles still? New team trying to figure it out. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below.